Welcome to today's Explainer. Let's just jump right in because today we're taking a completely fascinating journey into an ancient spiritual text. This isn't just a history lesson, though. This is a text designed to totally transform the way you actually experience reality. We're looking at something written for literally anyone, no matter your background, who might be feeling a little dissatisfied with life and really wants to experience true, boundless joy. So, I want to start by asking you a quick question. Where does your happiness actually come from? Think about it for a second. So often we just automatically assume our joy is tied up in external things, right? Getting that promotion at work, buying that new car, or finally going on that perfect Instagram-worthy vacation. But what if all that joy you're constantly chasing out there in the world is actually already inside of you, just kind of waiting to be uncovered? To answer that, we're going to explore the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. Now, this is a profoundly deep text containing 112 meditations for self-realization. The whole thing is framed as this beautiful dialogue between Lord Shiva and his consort Parvati. So essentially, it's a conversation between the divine masculine and feminine. But here's the best part. It's not some dry theoretical textbook. It is a highly practical, hands-on manual designed to show you exactly how to reach the ultimate state of joy. And it basically guarantees that out of all these methods, there's at least one technique in there perfectly suited just for you. Okay, Section 1. The illusion of separation, rooted in Kashmir Shaivism. Before we get into those specific techniques, we really need to understand the worldview this whole text operates from. What's super interesting here is how this absolutely flips our most basic assumptions upside down. The Vigyan Bhairava Tantra belongs to a philosophy called Kashmir Shaivism, which is rooted in this concept of non-dualism. Now, unlike a lot of philosophies that are dualistic, meaning, you're separate from God, you're separate from the people around you, non-dualism states that there is literally only one. The boundaries that we perceive every day, they're basically just an illusion created by our limited senses. I mean, think about it. As a human being, you define the boundary of your body by your skin, right? And we look at a tree and see exactly where it begins and ends. So we just naturally assume we are entirely separate from it. But the text argues that this is just a massively incomplete picture. Deep down, way beneath the surface level, everything and everyone is intimately, undeniably connected.
Moving on to Section 2, chasing joy outside and finding the source of our thoughts. If we're already connected to this ultimate reality, why in the world don't we feel it all the time? Let's funnel down from that big picture philosophy to the actual day-to-day mechanics of our minds.
There is a really sharp contrast to make here between external desires and internal joy. On one hand, we have our external desires. We spend our entire days chasing things outside of ourselves, and when we're constantly in these tense, grasping situations, the source material notes that our mind just races entirely out of control. It generates this endless, exhausting inner chatter. But on the other hand, we have our original, pure state, which is internal joy. The text explains that before a thought or desire even pops up, we exist in this true original state of bliss. We literally only miss out on feeling amazing all the time because our uncontrolled mind is just constantly chattering away about the outside world.
So the crucial turning point is learning how to trace those thoughts back to their source. When an external desire or some random stressful thought pops into your head, the text suggests stopping and directly asking yourself, who am I? To whom do these thoughts actually belong? By reflecting like this, you throw the brakes on the outward momentum of your mind. You start tracing the thought back to where it came from, and that leads you right back into that pure, original state of just being.
Section 3. The 11 paths inward. These are methods for absolutely everyone. Because let's be real, what if just asking, who am I, doesn't quite work for you? Well, that is exactly where the core of this explainer comes in.
112. That is the massive number of specific meditation techniques detailed in this text. You might be wondering, why on earth are there so many? Well, because the text recognizes that human beings are incredibly diverse. These 112 techniques were designed to cover all types of people, with all different temperaments across all of human history. Some of these techniques were probably perfect for a farmer thousands of years ago, and some are going to be absolutely perfect for you, right now sitting in front of a screen. And in this quote brilliantly illustrates just how accessible these methods are. The text explicitly states that you do not need to be some sort of genius to understand or practice them. They are beautifully, elegantly simple. But, and this is a big but, the source warns us not to let their simplicity fool us. These incredibly basic techniques are fully capable of opening a door to eternity.
Which brings us to Section 4, Stilling the Mind. Let's see how this broad philosophy builds into real, actionable practice right now.
Let's actually walk through a specific example straight from the text. This is verse 55, and it's a profoundly simple breathing technique.
Step 1. You just inhale and exhale your breath slowly, making a slight sound. Step 2. You meditate entirely on the two exact places where the breath ends, meaning you focus on that tiny, microscopic pause at the very end of your inhale and that tiny pause at the very end of your exhale. That's it. By fixing your attention entirely on those two little endpoints, your mind literally cannot wander. The text states that through this simple act alone, you can find liberation and gain complete independence from your racing thoughts.
And hey, if focusing on your breath just isn't your thing, here are a few other incredibly varied methods from the text to instantly help stop your mind from thinking. You can chant a specific sound, which acts like a block, instantly overwhelming the mind so it stops chattering. Or you can close your eyes and just concentrate intensely on the darkness behind your forehead. If thoughts or images pop up, you just ignore them until your concentration is unwavering. Verse 92 suggests something wilder, meditating on yourself as infinite space or the sky, realizing your true nature is totally unlimited in all directions. You can even just change your perception entirely. If you convince yourself that the external world is actually an illusion, unreal, your mind will immediately stop worrying about it. Because why would you overthink something that isn't even real? All of these are just different doorways, tailored to different people, leading to the exact same destination, completely stilling the mind.
Section 5. Awakening Internal Bliss. This brings us to the final destination of our inward journey. What actually happens when these techniques work?
This is the beautiful, resounding conclusion of the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. People ask all the time, if our core essence is made of joy, why don't I feel it? The Source answers this so perfectly. As long as the mind is uncontrolled and just continues its non-stop inner chatter, we can't feel it. It's blocked. But the exact moment you use one of those 112 techniques, whether it's the breath, the chanting, the visualization, and the mind finally falls silent, the joy is just there. You don't have to manufacture it or create it out of thin air. You literally just have to clear away the noise so you can experience the bliss that is your true nature.
So, I want to leave you with this lingering thought today. Right in this exact moment, as you're listening to my voice, can you take a single breath and observe your own mind falling silent? Even if it's just for a split second. Notice that tiny, quiet gap between your thoughts. Because according to this ancient text, that quiet space isn't just an absence of noise. It is the very doorway to the ultimate joy you've been looking for all along. Try it out.